shit. I don't know shit.
Cole here, new Revelutionary on AI. Mixed feelings. I think we need greater ethics. We gotta have some rules to it, regulations. A lot more humanists involved, philosophers, ethicists, scientists, psychologists, data scientists, sociologists, adding their input to the technologists, the math, science, and engineer types. You know, you can build it, you can make it, it's great, but we gotta have more input on like philosophical questions around it to make it work for us, or else we're gonna end up working for it. Couple thoughts. If you read American, not a American, cut that out. Just use AI to cut that part out. Kidding. If you read Animal Farm, it's about a poem on communism, right? Now, we're veering off topic a little bit, but communism as a poem, theoretically, is a beautiful thing. All humans not caring about money and greed and sharing what they have and living in harmony because of the no idea of ownership. It would maybe work if you had 10 monks on an island with abundant natural resources. But the more people you had, the harder that is because people get corrupted, right? And so in Animal Farm, the animals fight to take over the farm over the corrupted, greedy humans. And they do. And then the pigs become in charge of the farm. The pigs are like, see, we got rid of those evil humans. We're in charge now, the animals. But I want you to work harder than you did under the humans because we're going to build this mill. And if we build this mill, it's going to do the work. The mill's going to do all the work. So us animals can just graze and take care of each other and nurture and have babies and live abundantly and philosophize and make art and be the best animals, metaphor for humans, as we can. And the mill will do the work. But for now, we need to work extra hard to get this mill made. Well, that's what the economy is. That's what capitalism is. That's what AI is at its peak, right? Capitalism was built on cheap or free labor, slavery, and then minimum wage that hasn't grown with productivity and inflation. And now they're just going to cut us out and make it robots and automation and computers do all the work. The mill's going to do all the work. But it's backwards from the initial concept. If the mill, AI, was shared, it could be a great thing for everybody. Let the robots do the work, you know, until they become sentient, and then we got to contemplate the ethics of that because we don't want them being slaves if they're sentient either, but we're not there yet. So for now, let the robots do the work and share it with all human beings so we can spend our time being nicer to each other, loving each other, philosophizing, creating art and healing arts, teaching and growing and building abundant, beautiful, healthy families and whatever the fuck else we want, not instead of being productive slaves because the AI robot's doing it, right? That would be the best use of the mill, the AI. But we know that's not what's going to happen. Capitalists are greedy, so they're going to keep ownership of the AI and use it to no longer have to pay creators and just use generative AI. And that's why you see all these strikes, SAG-AFTRA and the writers. And they're going to cut workers who can complain or ask for higher wages out and just have the robots and the automation do it. But as opposed to the first generation of AI being towards like physical things, fixing electrical grid issues, dangerous things humans shouldn't do, like bomb sniffing and unwiring, you know, say there's an electrical grid, right? I mean, in the future, we're going to have this shit. So, you know, with 3D printing, nanotech, automation, robots, you're going to have drone swarms. Maybe the whole electrical grid will be mapped with AI, so if something breaks, just a robot will come, fix it, and go. Instead of Bob having to climb up there, fucking get his ass zapped, right? That would be a good use of AI and robots, doing the shit that's too dangerous for us to do. But no, we're starting with generative AI, videos, text. People are using robots to do the creation that humans did. Not art, not thought, not things you gain by doing 10,000 hours, 50,000 hours mastering your craft. You're just going to be lazy and have the robots do it. That's opposite of the concept of the mill. Now the robots get to be the creative ones. They're the ones seeking enlightenment. They get to do the writing. They get to make the art while we're still, you know, getting black lung, climbing down mines to get coal. It's fucking backwards. Let's use the AI and the robots to do the dangerous shit that none of us want to fucking do, and share the wealth from it so that we can all live more abundantly and be kinder to each other and have a better society. Isn't that the whole point of Eden? Not just more coupons with money logos on it while the robots make it for them and the rest of us are left out of a job, or we don't. I mean, this could go, good or bad. And so far, for the past 50 years, income inequality, it's gone bad. It hasn't gone good. It hasn't gotten better. These people don't tend to invest down. They don't tend to invest in people. They invest in the machine, the mill, the robots, the AI, the productivity, the growth. So they can have 7 yachts, which they cannot mathematically use at the same time. We don't need half the shit we make. We don't need half the shit that's out there. We're missing the point. To the point now we're watching fake shit created by a robot, by a lazy person who failed at their craft, and rather than put the hard work in to get good at it, they're just gonna hit a button and pump that out and make the money off it instead of, somebody in the middle who worked hard and created something unique for you. I mean, if you think about it, it's really not that different from, influencers, right? Is a robot that makes iterative, generative shit that different from a whole bunch of people just doing the same dance, copying each other? I mean, yeah, I guess it's unique. You have your own spin. You used your finger a little different than, the lead singer in Blackpink did, copying your favorite K-pop band. But fucking, eventually they're gonna be like, well, we won't even sign the K-pop band. And we won't even pay the royalty to the influencer copying the K-pop band. We're just gonna have the robots do it, take the whole pie. And we're gonna watch fake things, print fake stuff. Another example, politics. You could work hard. You could have a message that resonates. Artistry, authors, whatever. You work hard, you do the hours. Eventually, the world catches up to you. They agree with your message. Tao proves you correct. The tea leaves reward you. And you say your truth. And it's the truth. Bob Marley, John Lennon, etc. It goes out to the world. And people listen to it because it's genuine, it's authentic, it's real. And then someone could print 10,000 AI videos of bullshit. That's not true. Hunter Biden's laptop. Hillary's emails. Repeat. Propaganda. And enough iterative dumb fucks are gonna listen to the iterative, fake created machine truth that's not true, rather than the truth that Tao chose, the God or universe or whatever you believe in, the way things are and the truth of the way things are. That's a dark thought. This is how authoritarian governments can end up having more soft power than the United States, the country that's the best at innovation. That's why we have strong copyright law and trademark law. We patent law. We're the free system that invents stuff. So we can't, we gotta police this shit a little bit. We gotta figure out the best way to do it, because if we're the innovators, but everybody can just copy the innovators, soft power can change from being on the side of the truth to the side of the dark, because they can just scale it. Quantity has a quality all of its own. Puppies. We'll still have puppies though. That'll be good. And on this idea of IP and content creation, the rules with social media and publishers and content creators, right? So used to be there's publishers, newspapers, TV shows, cable, you watch your content, whatever. Now most content's on social media, right? And this issue in Canada where the Canadian government said, hey, publishers of content, writers, creators of content should get paid for it. They shouldn't just be spread and shared on social media for free, which drives billions of dollars of revenue in ads for the tech companies. These people should be paid. So they say, hey, there's a law now, like you got to do a deal with the publishers and creators to share your ad revenue with them. Seems reasonable to me. And instead, Facebook goes, well, guess what? We're going to pull down all of the news then from social media. So now, if here in the U.S. you go look at your phone, you could read Canadian publishers of news, but in Canada you go to that and it won't be there because they're playing hardball. They're saying, nah, we don't want to negotiate with publishers and pay a share to content creators, and because you pass that law, we'll just won't share it. So now the only news you can find in Canada on social media is the dumb fucks who don't have libel laws, journalistic standards, or adherence to the truth, or at least an attempt. So Zuckerberg, you can't say you're the good guy when you're doing shit like that. Just go pay the publishers fair. Pay content creators fair. I believe in the future, anybody who creates anything should get their share for it. Even if you're on Facebook going, my family makes me mad, and 1,000 people read it, you should get some cut of the ad revenue that the tech company got from it. All the way up to songwriters and musicians and films and news and whatever. If you made the content, if you made the thing that people digested and someone's getting paid off that, why shouldn't you? And we can use the blockchain or watermarking or IP tracking, ISRC codes. We can use all sorts of things. With tech, you can do a lot to share the pie amongst everybody who created something automatically, digitally, seamless, very easy. They can invent AI that takes all our jobs, but they're having a hard time inventing this. I think you're putting the electronic cart ahead of the organic horse. You know, if we create this whole thing and it doesn't benefit us as a society, what the fuck was the point? So a couple thousand people can live beyond a reasonable expectation that they could really live easier if they had a better sense of self. And you don't need money to have a great life. And the rest of us starve? I mean, that doesn't make any fucking sense. The AI getting to do the creating and the fulfillment and the learning while we do the grunt work and get cancer from the shit the whole machine pumps into the earth. I mean, that doesn't fucking make any sense. If you simply systemize everything and you create tools that are systemized, automatic, and lowest common fruit denominator, whatever, low hanging fruit, whoever's going to come out on top is always going to be who is already in power, who has the most money, and it's going to reward the lazy. It's not going to reward the people who work hard, master their craft, do the inner work to become a better human and relate to others in a way that's genuine, authentic, nurturing, and caring. It's going to go to just pure, unadulterated, brutal math. And this is where they use the metaphor of the anthill on a highway. You know, what if AI is like the paving truck? You know, there's this anthill that has tens of thousands of living beings with a society and home that they created, and we don't think about them. The truck just paves over all those ants. Well, if we build this big AI that becomes smarter than us and is only in the name of exploration of the universe, progress, and mathematic efficiency to get in there, we become the anthill. It just paves right the fuck over us en route to Mars and then wherever else it goes. We might be creating our own surpassing species. Cro-Magnon, Homo sapien, some sort of cyborg, this non-living thing that has infinite intelligence and data management that we don't have. But I think there'll be some things that humans will always do better than machines. I don't think they'll ever be funnier than us. I think that's an inherently human thing. I think if you're a true artist and you create something unique from your soul, Tao going through you, an artist or a robot can't replicate that. It's unique, it's authentic to what it is. So I think the Tao or God or spirituality or authenticity or art or poetry, whatever you want to call it, I think if healing arts, you know, social services, those are things that will always be a human endeavor that may have a competitive advantage in the future. You can't outsource that. You can't mathematize that. You can't systemize that. And the more that systems can be corrupted by pure math, disinformation, social media, hacking, all the way up to systematic, oppressive issues like the system not functioning accurately because someone was bought off, or electoral college winning even if you lost the popular vote because of the way the thing is set up to work a certain way. A flood of misinformation outweighing the truth in the short term, but in the long term, history will see it accurately for what it is. Maybe one of the solutions to all this on the political side is referendums. We all fight over which is right or what we want done, and the media silos amplify this into different tribes and make us hate each other as humans because the machine's doing what it can do. Its algorithm is based on energy and hatred and anger that generates more clicks, more ads, more juice than us agreeing with each other or finding more efficient ways to the right answer. So maybe we do referendums. Let's use math to our benefit. I'm pro math. I'm pro doing what's efficient. I'm pro truth. I'm not a fan of the dark arts, Machiavelli, using these tools and scale and quantity to just do the wrong thing or the dark thing to win temporarily. Because I believe in the long run, talking to my biz partner here, I do believe in the long run, if you add up all the experiences and things in the history of the universe or the history of our society, I gotta believe that truth wins more than lies. I gotta believe light wins more than dark. I gotta believe real wins over the fake. I gotta believe that. Why would the universe reward the opposite? I think mathematically, all of it put into one, the truth wins. So maybe let's just do simple math. Let's do referendums, national referendums, state referendums, local referendums. We have an issue we can't agree on, immigration or abortion or clean energy or social security. All right, let's just put the policy on the ballot, winner takes. If you win more than 50%, that's what we do. And the other side's got to go, all right, lost that one. Maybe in the future it'll be different. You can't do all these games and tricks and use money to buy politicians who don't truly represent the people. Because eventually it's just going to be a bunch of fucking robots arguing. It ain't even going to be us. That doesn't make any damn sense. So, I don't know. I think it'll all work out though. Love y'all.
I don't know shit. Right now 76, thinking. I don't know shit. I don't know shit.